Mr. Larry Grossman. Thank you, Larry. If I could ask everybody to stand for the posting of the colors.
Do we have the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts leading our Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can post the colors now. Thank you. You may be seated. The posting of the colors was done by the Southland Young Marines, and the pledge was done out by the Boy Scout Pack 423 and 419 and the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles Color Guard team. Okay, Father Rich, can you come up, please?
I'm always aware, more than ever before, that sometimes it's just too easy to stand and say words in prayer. That the effects of this prayer is how we choose to live our life afterwards. God of life, we pay tribute to those who have served our country, to express our gratitude for their courage and selflessness, both those among us today and those of generations past. This nation, built by those born of this soil, and those who have come here from all the corners of the earth, is on a continual journey toward its destiny. May we never let down those who have served in defense of this country. May we uphold the values of freedom, of the inherent dignity of every human being you created, by our own right conduct, by the kindness and tolerance we show to each other. May we lead the world by example. Then, and only then, will the labors and sacrifices of our veterans be fully honored, not in words alone, by what we choose to do and how we choose to do it. Grateful for the life you breathe into us so that we can breathe it into each other. We give you thanks.
Father Rich, you always make it hard for me to follow you, but I'll do the best I can. Thank you very much. Good evening. My name's Gary Enderly. How's everyone doing tonight? I can hear more. How you all doing? There we go. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. We're here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for their sacrifice. I'd like to start off by asking all the veterans in the audience to please stand. If you are standing, stay standing, raise your hand. All veterans. Okay, please stay standing. If we have any active military personnel, please stand. Any active military personnel? Okay, now everybody that's sitting down, you're going to be tested, so make sure you see who the veterans are in this group. Okay. Also, I'd like all the family members of any veterans or active personnel to please stand. Family members? Okay, now everybody gets to stand, and it's your chance to hug a veteran and thank them for their service. Thank you. I'll get all my hugs after this is over with, okay? I'd like to take this time to recognize our hero members who have passed away and had so much to do with the success of the organization and this monument. Janie Grafe. Janie was one of the co-founders along with me in starting the Heroes program. I don't know how many years ago, I forgot, but anyhow, we started with the banner program and then went to the building of this monument. Tom Logan, Don Story, Terry Quinn, Nancy Newman, and we lost Danny Ortiz today. I'm sorry, not today, this last couple of months. We also lost the wife of one of our board members, Glenda Branham, the wife of Chris Branham. Glenda was a part of our organization and our Heroes family and was always willing to help us out, and she's going to be sorely missed. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Mayor of the City of San Dimas, Mayor Kurt Morris.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome all of you here. As usual, they have gotten a grand audience. I noticed today I went to another event at Pomona Valley Hospital honoring veterans. Veterans are getting older. Have you noticed that? In my day, everybody became a veteran because you didn't have a choice. You either joined or you got drafted. So, but those people are moving on. I just happen to think that 60 years ago today, I was somewhere in the Western Pacific aboard the USS Midway doing whatever we were doing to keep the world safe for democracy. We were the northern carrier. There were always in those years, many years ago, there were two deployed carriers in Westpac, the northern carrier, and we were always lucky enough to be the northern carrier and the southern carrier. The southern carrier operated out of Subic Bay primarily, which was a hot and miserable place, and we operated out of Japan. It's been a long, long time, and a lot of things have happened since then. In fact, the ship I was on, the USS Midway, has become a museum. I don't know what that says about me, but whatever it is, I would like to introduce the members of the City Council. I was going to tell you if I could remember who they are, but I actually can't. First, I'd like to introduce Mayor Pro Tem. What was your name again? Ryan Vienna. And Ryan's wife is also with us. Nicole, thank you for being here. Next in seniority in the city council is Dennis Bertone. Dennis. And then John Ebner. John. He must be running for something. He has a coat and tie on, right? And Emmett Bedard. I can tell you this is a very fine city council. They all work very hard in the best interest of the city of San Dimas. And I think for the most part, we had a survey done that said we're not doing a really bad job. But there are some people who said we could improve. So that's probably true. But thank you all for coming, and this is a great event. It's here in a perfect spot. Beautiful trees, beautiful monument, and we also have another political person I'd like to introduce. I kept him for later because he's on a little different level than us. Anthony Portantino, state senator, our state senator, who has been, since he was an assemblyman before, was termed out, did some other things, and during the time when he was not an assemblyman, he came to San Dimas many times for many events because he was running for state senate, or planned to. And I will say for Anthony that after he was elected, he continued to know where San Dimas is located, and we're very proud that he is our state senator. So with that, thank you all for coming, and we have a very pleasant day.
And of course I know where San Dimas is. It's the last line in the movie Hondo. Remember John Wayne? When he rescues Geraldine Page, he says, "I'm taking you out of this place to my ranch in San Dimas, California." So watch Hondo if you haven't seen Hondo. I'm Anthony Portantino. I'm proud to be your state senator. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for welcoming me to this wonderful community. I won't belabor you with lots of words other than to say, to our veterans, thank you for your service. To our family members of veterans, thank you for your service. And I was reminded earlier today of a quote, believe it or not, from Abraham Lincoln, who talked about communities and veterans. And he said, "Honor to the soldier and sailor everywhere who bravely bears his or her country's cause, but also honor to the citizen who cares for his brother and sister in the field and serves as best he and she can the same cause." And so a community like San Dimas certainly shares the cause and the appreciation of its veterans, and I'm just here to say thank you and to thank San Dimas for this fantastic memorial and the community spirit and patriotism. God bless America, and thank you for letting me be part of this.
First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor and the city council members for being here tonight. Not only is it a pleasure to have you, but it's also, I want to thank you because I actually won a bet tonight. You're all sitting together, so thank you very much. Now I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the director of the Parks and Rec. Unfortunately, he can't be here tonight. He had a family emergency, but Hector Kisselman did a lot to improve this park over the last couple of weeks, so it'd be ready for today. So I'd like to thank the council and Hector for the great job. Got new planting, if you notice, red, white, and blue plants. We got new planting behind the wall, and it just looks beautiful today. So we appreciate the fact that he did that and that everybody here can enjoy it tonight. Okay, I'd like to introduce the Vice President of San Dimas Heroes, Tim Gerard.
The Young Marines, Cub Scouts, and Girl Scouts will be assisting the flagpole donors with raising all the flags one at a time. We invite those of you that have served or are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces to please stand or raise your hand as your branch's song is played. The first flag we're going to raise is the United States Army. The next flag to be raised is the United States Marine Corps. next flag is the United States Navy. Now the United States Air Force. Now we'll raise the United States Coast Guard flag. Next, we'll raise the California flag.
I love you, California. You're the greatest state of all. I love you in the winter, summer, spring, and in the fall. I love your
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Next, I want to introduce San Dimas board member Chris Green and committee member Nancy Yanez for the folding of the American flag.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Freedom Park. Last year at Veterans Day, we presented the symbolic American flag folding ceremony. It was very popular then, so we decided we'd do it again. The 13 folds ceremony is a unique way of honoring and showing respect to the flag. Our flag folders today are Chris Branham, Neil Hughes, and Mike Morrissey. They're all from American Legion Post 835, Rancho Cucamonga. Okay.
So we begin with the flag stretched out and folded lengthwise. The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their lives for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature. For as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in time of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. For in the words of Stephen Decatur, 19th century naval officer, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they are found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day.
The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it has been through their faith, their love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who have made this country great has been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the Father, for He too has given His sons and daughters for defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon and glorifies in the Hebrews' eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in the Christian's eyes God the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. The 13th fold, or when the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God we trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington, and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms we enjoy today.
This is the normal procedure that we would do at a burial ceremony for a deceased. We're the honor guard that buries the veterans in the cemeteries around here. I'd like to quote what we say to the family member that's receiving the flag.
Normally I would kneel in front of them. On behalf of the President of the United States, the grateful nation, please accept this flag as a token of appreciation for the services your honorable son or daughter or whoever rendered this grateful nation. I'd back up then, and we all three would then salute, and we'd march off. This is done for all the burials, whether there's a casket or an urn or simply a memorial. It's done for all three. Thank you.
And thank you, Chris, Mike, and Neil for the demonstration. And now here's Laura Alvarado to recognize some veterans.
For the past 3 years, the San Dimas Heroes have honored the San Dimas veterans from past conflicts with a San Dimas Veterans Monument commemorative medallion. Please raise your hand as your name is called. This year's recipients are, from World War II, Reynaldo Chaboya, Army, World War II. Donald F. Copes, Army, World War II. Ignacio V. Moreno, Army Air Corps, World War II. Merle Venender, Army, Korean War. Folks, if you can just raise your hands so they can find you. Henry Q. Enrique, Navy, Korean War. Geronimo D. Flores, Army National Guard, Korean War. James Gully, Air Force, Korean War. Carl D. Hill, Navy, Korean War. Richard L. Knickerbocker, Army, Korean War. Ronald L. Kranzer, Army, Korean War. Edward A. Crick, Navy, Korean War. Frank J. McDonald Jr., Navy, Korean War. Dominic McNellis, Army, Korean War. Robert A. Pulio, Army, Korean War.
Over here.
William D. Ralph, Army, Korean War. Stan Wisniewski, Navy, Korean War. Donald J. Beechler, Air Force, Vietnam War. Mario Cabral Jr., Marines, Vietnam War. Jerry D. Early, Army, Vietnam War. Billy R. Heath, Marines, Vietnam War. Guadalupe Martinez, Air Force, Vietnam War. Paul Moreno, Air Force, Vietnam War. Edward W. Ramirez, Army, Vietnam War. James H. Rigsby, Marines, Vietnam War. Lamont L. Smith, Army, Vietnam War. Wayne A. Tennille, Army, Vietnam War. Thank you for your service. And now I'd like to introduce Eloise Logan, committee member, and she will explain a little bit about our monument.
Well, let me go ahead then and get started. It's my pleasure to be able to tell you a little bit about our beautiful water feature that we have here and why we did it. Why do we have this in the middle of this gorgeous place? Many years ago, as the Heroes Committee was envisioning this place of honor, we were fortunate to meet Eddie Martinez Jr., who owned the EM3 engineering company down here in San Dimas. He was instrumental in helping us to create this design. We knew we wanted walls that we could have names engraved on. These personal inscriptions were essential to honoring all of our veterans. Another important wish was to include our flags, our national flag, our POW, MIA flag, all the service flags, and our state flag with lighting, 24/7 lighting. We also felt we needed something that would be a meaningful symbol of the sacrifice that military persons and their families make with their commitment to our nation's armed forces. With all of these ideas in mind, this beautifully sculptured water feature was designed to signify the 5 major branches of our armed forces, uniting them as one to serve, protect, and preserve our country's freedoms. Within each point of this water feature is a pool that's a stream of water rises up from the center. Each of these points signifies one branch of the service, and the rising water that is inside represents the individual life in every service person within their very own branch. As each of the pools from the points overflows, it reminds us of the hero's life of commitment and willingness to sacrifice everything for our country. The water then cascades from all 5 of the points into a pentagon-shaped central pool where individual branches gather to comprise the whole. From this central pool, the single stream of water that rises upwards symbolically represents the freedom enjoyed by our entire nation today. So let us continue to remember that this water feature is truly dedicated to honoring all of you who have selflessly served in the United States Armed Forces, and we thank you for that.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
The following names were inscribed on November 11, 2019. Donald J. Beechler, Air Force. Sebastian R. Bordor, Air Force. Nicholas M. Carson, Air Force. Joshua H. Coleman, Air Force. Jason T. M. Curry, Marine Corps. James T. Durkin, Marine Corps. Jerry D. Early, Army. Henry Q. Enrique, Navy. Lance E. Gerlash, Army. Carlos S. Gonzalez, Marine Corps. Carl D. Hill, Navy. Ronald L. Krenzer, Army. Edward A. Crick, Navy. Justin L. Lewis, Air Force. Marco A. Lozano, Marine Corps. Bert E. Mendia, Air Force. Guadalupe Martinez, Air Force. Michael E. McDonald, Army. Dominic McNellis, Army. Nicholas W. McPherson, Army. Jill O. Michael, Navy. Timothy M. Miller, Army. Rajad Monroe, Navy. Ignacio V. Marino, Army Air Corps World War II. Paul Marino, Air Force. Dubrek E. Nash, Army. Felipe Neris, Army. Jose R. Pena, Marine Corps. Robert A. Pouliot, Army. William D. Ralph, Army. James H. Rigsby, Marine Corps. Zachary J. Sargent, Army. James L. Schnizwise, Marine Corps. Lamont L. Smith, Army. Philip L. Suazo, Air Force. Wayne A. Tinnell, Army. I want to also recognize a couple of people here. If everybody will show their appreciation by clapping, I would appreciate it for those that are being engraved this year. Thank you. There's also a couple of people I want to recognize today. First of all, I want to recognize Bob Severson, who is here with us. World War II vet, 96 years young. Carl Hurston, World War II vet, 94 years young. And I would like to point out and recognize an Army veteran that is here today, Dubrek Nash. If you can stand for 1 second. Okay. I want to just say something. In 2011, while serving in Kandahar, Afghanistan, his MRAP was hit with the 500-pound IED. It flipped over and he was crushed inside the turret. I want to say thank you that you were here with us today. God bless you. And each and every one of you get a chance to go and thank him. Once the ceremony is over, then you can all come up to the wall and see the names as well as take pictures and that. But we've got a few more minutes. Thank you, everybody. I would like to, at this time, recognize the San Dimas High School Choir again with America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee.
couple things. Kurt, you said we're getting old. After the introduction of those gentlemen, I think we're still real young, so just hang in there, okay? Also, Debrek, thank you very much for your service from one Army veteran to you, but it probably means more from Penny since she's a Marine. But anyhow, thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna, unfortunately, you guys are gonna have to put up with me the rest of the evening here, but I wanted to recognize some of our sponsors and contributors. I'd like to list all of them, but I'd be here forever to do that. So what we basically decided to do was spotlight certain sponsors every year, starting this year, that have helped us out in providing services for us or money. So tonight we would like to honor 3 companies and their owners who have supported us for years. They're also ones that all of you would appreciate tonight. First of all, if you're sitting down, we need to thank Hometown Rentals for all the seats. And I don't know if Tim Hughes is here or not. Is Tim here? Tim, come on up. We have a certificate for Tim for his support of the Heroes organization. So I'd just like to present this to Tim and again thank him very much for all that he's done for our organization. Okay, if you can hear me tonight or hear anybody that came up here and spoke, it's because we have a gentleman from Pro Audio Video of Laverne, Mr. Gene Procopio. Gene, can you step up here, please? You know, Gene's been here for us every time we have something where we need sound equipment. If it was a fundraiser or this event, Gene has always been here for us and sincerely appreciate it. Okay, in a few minutes it's going to get dark. So we have Sanders Towing that's providing the lights for us here. And again, I don't know if Scott's here, Scott Dilly? Scott didn't know if he could make it or not. Obviously he didn't, but we will recognize him after this ceremony. As I said, there's many people that we could thank, but we can't take all night to do that. So we're going to pick a few, like I said, every year. So don't be upset if you didn't get named tonight. We decided we're going to save the best for last, okay? I want to remind everybody that this monument is your monument. You paid for it. You donated. No money came from the city of San Dimas. It was all through fundraisers and contributions, and I appreciate that very much. We get asked several questions, and I wanted to address 2 questions that we get asked the most. First question is, why are we continuing to raise funds when the monument is completed? Simply because we have expenses. Our water feature, if you've ever had a water fountain or feature, you know it's expensive to maintain. But we take a lot of pride in that, and we're going to maintain it throughout our lifetime anyhow to keep it in the condition that it is now. Over the last 2 months, we spent about $3,500 to have it repaired and to have some maintenance work done on it. Tonight's event is probably about $2,000 to put on for everybody. Again, we appreciate doing that, but I thought you should know. Routine expenses such as stamps, stationery, and then we have other repairs and maintenance on the monument, and then we also have insurance. So I just wanted to give you kind of a little bit of background where your contributions are going. What can you do to help the Heroes organization? That's simple. If you want to volunteer, we can use volunteers. We have several different events throughout the year that you can volunteer for. This is one, Memorial Day. We're always here on Memorial Day greeting the people that come to the site and giving them information about our organization. The monument cleaning we do usually 2 times a month. It takes about an hour, 3 or 4 people, but we want to, again, maintain it in the condition that it was when we first built it. We have committee meetings on a quarterly basis, and then we have event meetings like this particular event, probably 5 or 6 meetings prior to the event itself. Also, we don't have any problems with cash, checks, or money order. There's one other thing that you might want to consider, and that's the pavers. If you notice the pavers all the way around this monument, a number of them are engraved. So if you wanted to have one engraved on behalf of a loved one, a business, or whatever, you certainly have that opportunity to do it. The other thing is in kind. If you have a business and you think you could help us in any way, please let us know, and we will work with you. We will be available at the Heroes booth after tonight's ceremony. Okay, we are now going to pass around an envelope, one per family. And when you get those envelopes, if you could please open them. There's some surprise gifts in some of them, but basically it's a form that you can use to either donate or to volunteer as a member of our organization. Only takes 50 cents to mail it. So some of the envelopes have certain items in it. One of the items is our Heroes Cookbook. Okay, this is recipes from our members and their families. It's unique in the sense that there's a lot of great recipes in here. There's even one on page 86 for elephant stew and brown gravy. So you might want to, hopefully you'll win one, but if you don't, there's a few left over here at the Heroes booth, and you can pick one up there. There's no price on this. You give a donation, you can have them, but there's only a few of these left. Okay, the envelope you're going to get is like this, and inside there's a slip, and there's some other things in there, like I said, that you might want to look for. And those things are card magnet. Okay, there's more of these available at the Heroes booth. We also have some of the dog tags left from the Vietnam Wall that heals that we had here last year. It's in remembrance of that if you'd like to get those. But all that will be over at the Heroes booth after our ceremonies tonight. Also, if you'd like to get information about any of the groups that are here tonight, the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Young Marines, or the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles, they will be at the Heroes booth after this event too. At this point, I would like all of our veterans again to stand, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. At this point, I would like to thank all of you that have attended tonight. Our Heroes family wants to wish all of you a very blessed holiday season, and God bless you. Thank you, and I will be here for hugs.